Limutan mo. Ito pala. Limutan ko. Okay. Send me like a talk, cause you don't wanna settle. No. I'm here, no. No, I'm down with you. Reaching a new level. Did you get mad? Send me like a talk, cause you don't wanna settle. No. I'm here, no. No, I'm down with you.
Steak.
Narrates of line 5, 5,
Go
5,
pile.
5, 5, 5.
Steak. Narrates of line 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5,
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and we are live. We are live straight from the SDA Industrial Design Lab right here at the fifth floor. I am Marlon Barnuevo, and before we begin, can I just ask everybody, just for a couple of seconds, sandali lang, just for a couple of seconds, to please listen to this, turn on your cameras and mics and just say hi to one another. Come on, yung maingay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Say hi to one another.
Hi everyone.
Unmute, 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 unmute. Unmute.
Hello.
Ayan.
Hello.
All right, thank you everyone, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you. Kasama ko ngayon our ID Lab expert and fellow Benildian industrial designer because he's also a graduate of Benilde Industrial Design, Sir Emer Gochuico.
Thank you, Sir Marlon.
Yan.
Welcome all. Good afternoon. Welcome to the ID Lab. So,
The very reliable Sir Emer as always. Napatunayan niya yan before at lalo ngayon ay reliable maasahan natin hanggang ngayon. So before we begin, if I may share my screen with you, I'd like to start with give me a second because I'm on the wrong page of my PowerPoint. Okay. Alright. If I may share my screen now. Okay. Pamute na lang po ng mics, everyone. We'd like to start this tour. We'd like to begin, no, with a konting orientation lang for everybody to make this a little more interactive and organized. Okay, few guidelines lang po. We would like to tell you that Benilde values your data privacy. So all efforts are being done to prevent your data privacy. This is us telling you that this is important to Benilde. Second is you're free to interact. Okay? As you know, this is lalo na sa lab safe students, no? Maraming lab safe students dito, and if I'm not mistaken, this is an actual class, an actual synchronous, counted as your actual synchronous class. So just like any other classes, you are free to interact. Okay, you all know the challenges for us online teachers, online professors. The lack of interaction is not there usually pagdating sa Zoom. So you have no idea how much we appreciate interaction, kahit taas lang ng kamay or thumbs up, or you can use that icon down there, or you raise your mugs or whatever, para lang mas interactive tayo kahit a little. So you're free to interact in any way that you can, hindi intrusive. Of course, you all know this, you will experience it best if you put your Zoom in full screen, mind your own mics. By now, alam nyo na to. You're already familiar with this application. So when you're not speaking, kindly unmute your mics and then mind your cameras if the connection is bad. But for the record, we cannot oblige you to show your faces on the camera. But again, I'd like to reiterate, it's something that we really, really appreciate when you show yourselves on the screen. FYI, this is being recorded and we are live on our private CSB Industrial Design Facebook page for your information. So mind your cameras as well. A big tip that I give to all my students, no, as much as possible when doing online classes, don't do it in your bed. Don't even look at your bed. Trust me, kasi aantukin kayo. So wag sa kama. And wouldn't hurt if you have coffee or anything to munch on. In my classes, I allow that. Wag lang intrusive. Wag naman kare-kare at kanin kinakain mo during class. Wag naman, okay? But a little something that can perk you up, it would be very, very helpful. Okay, stop ako ng aking share screen. And I'd like to proceed now with, we'd like to start this tour muna by giving you a brief history and the humble beginnings of what is now regarded, take note regarded as the most advanced industrial design school, laboratory, and workshop in the country. Joining us today to say hi is our former lab coordinator, and later on, he will also join us, si Sir Pat naman, for the history, but to say hi to us, bumati lang, kasi he's been a big part of the history of Benilde Industrial Design. Ladies and gentlemen, the ID legend, ID Lab legend, and a dear friend of ours, Mr. Mark Verdillo. Sir Mark, hi naman.
Highlight, Mark.
Sir Mark.
Hi everyone.
Ayan, pakita ka naman. Legend ka dito eh.
Cornerstone ng...
Yes, cornerstone ng institution yan dito. At sa totoo lang, we owe a lot of us, kahit ng student ako, we owe a lot to this guy kasi naging kumbaga siya ang nag-set ng bar kung ano yung isang mabuting ID Lab coordinator, ID Lab assistant, at ina-emulate siya ngayon ng mga ID Lab technicians and assistants that we have now. Thank you so much, and let's proceed with Sir Pat. Sir Pat, kwento ka naman. A couple of minutes. Yeah.
Can I highlight? Share screen ako, bilis lang. Sir Jake? Highlight? Yeah, nice, perfect. Good afternoon, everybody. Quick history. Promise 2 minutes na. So basically, we Benilde Industrial Design program started in 91, but it's actually intertwined with the history of Benilde and the development of the lab. And what you can see in the picture is our first batch of graduates. So it started in the 1980s actually as a night school for working students, and that's Benilde. Even up to 88, it started to become a college. Can you hear me? Hello? Is it good? Is my audio good? Hello?
Loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear.
Good.
Yep.
And in 91, actually 91, the first program was industrial design together with accounting and bookkeeping. So it was the first science program offered. And in 94, it became autonomous. So beforehand, 91, it was still under the DLSU. That's why the diplomas of these people on the top that you can see in my screen, the diplomas of them are quite different from the diplomas right now. And here's some of the photos. So this is the photo of the ID lab in Taft campus way back before. This is already the fourth position, the fourth area where it was converted into an ID lab. It is because as like what you are experiencing right now, particularly to those who are new to industrial design, humble beginnings. We also start the program. The lab started with simple tools, simple materials, and simple assets. That's why they come to acquire new equipment, and then they need bigger space. They have to move out, choose another room, and maybe they were able to buy the bandsaw, the scroll saw, so they need another more space, and they had to go to a bigger room. And when SDA was up, I think this is the fifth time they transferred, and this is the ID hall. What you can see right now is the ID hall, and it was so. Oh, sinta Sir J, ikaw pala to. All right, so this is the ID hall. It has so much space before, and again, it's still growing. We're still acquiring new equipment, and in the future, hopefully, we can be able to share everything with you guys. Thank you. That's the history. Quick history.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sir Pat. Now, as you can see, and some of you here watching here have been to this lab, and looking at those pictures, actually, I believe, Sir Pat, may mas luma pa doon yung time natin.
Yes.
There's that smaller, really small. If you're familiar with yung LRC sa main building, in front of that, meron parang tambayan na lang ngayon. That very small area there used to be our lab during, back in the day during our time. Don't ask when na lang, but that was around 1996. But anyway, yun nga. And as you can see now, a lot of you have been here. Malaking upgrade na, napakalaking. We've been through a lot, and we have a lot of machines already here, and a lot of tools, and then we're able to address almost everything that the student needs, sa totoo lang. That. And as we get everyone excited, I'm sure it's very important to know, unang-una, and sa lecture namin ng workshop and lab safe classes, unang-una namin sinasabi, and lectures namin will always involve safety, because safety is our number one priority. No, we don't want blood spilling in the lab or in your homes. So we'd like to discuss a little, share with you the safety rules. As far as the COVID protocols are concerned, we are bound to follow the existing protocols of the school, which is not uncommon naman na to us, and it will be made clear as soon as the normal classes or regular classes, face-to-face classes resume. That also includes the protocols, additional protocols that we will have right inside this lab that might even be independent pa dun sa protocols that the school is having, because we want to secure your safety. But let's talk about, Emer, let's talk about yung typical safety protocols and measures that we have here. Pag pumasok sila dito sa lab, ano yung mga bawal? Like, unang-una, dress code. Ano yung mga pwedeng suot? What are they supposed to wear, and what are the things that they're not supposed to be wearing when coming inside the lab?
Sir, for the dress code, bawal yung sleeveless, wearing of shorts, and open sandals. Yun po yung pinaka-basic na dress code for going inside the lab.
Ayun, nagkaroon lang ng konting technical dito, but I think we're fine. Okay, dress code. Ano yung mga nabanggit mo kaninang bawal pala?
Yes, sir. The sleeveless shirts.
Bawal ng sleeveless.
Especially mga sando.
Okay.
So, shorts.
Okay.
And open sandals.
Okay, bakit bawal yung sandals? Bakit bawal yung open na footwear?
Sir, because para na rin sa safety ng student, the more covered yung mga skin natin, the more safe ka dito sa lab.
Why, may nangyari na ba? Actually, you were telling me earlier, may nangyari na before na mishap involving the feet.
Sir. Minsan, may mga nalalaglag na mga power tools. Minsan, cutter, nalalaglag. So, kung sakali man malaglag sa paa, at least kung naka-close shoes ka, yung shoes lang ang matatamaan.
You were telling me earlier, Emer, yung tinamaan sa paa before na estudyante, buti lang nakasapatos. Anong nangyari doon?
Yung sa, sir, that's for the welding.
Okay.
Kasi when you're doing welding, may slug na byproduct yung stick. So while the student is doing his workpiece, may slug na tumalsik dun sa shoes niya.
Oh my God. Tumama ba sa paa? Hindi naman.
Hindi,
Sa skin.
Buti na lang hindi tumagos dun sa paa niya, but he was wearing a Nike.
Oh, Nike guys.
Yes, yung harap ng Nike niya is may mesh. Pumasok yung slug dun sa mesh, so nabutas yung shoes niya, yung mesh. Then I think mabuti meron pang siguro yung leather sa loob ng shoes. So hindi nag-penetrate din sa loob.
So basically any part of the body, no, kaya kailangan maging maingat. And we understand na pagkwentuhan natin kanina, there are work pieces and projects that will benefit from yung totally covering yourself. But may nabanggit ka earlier na problem pag long sleeves pagdating sa mga bigger machines like the stationary machines. Bakit hindi advisable ang naka-long sleeves na long-sleeved na shirts?
Pwedeng kainin ng machines
Oh my God.
sleeves, then hilain yung hands nyo papunta sa machine.
Pero hindi pa nangyari yan. Wala pa naman.
Wala pa naman kasi we don't really allow it.
Okay, that's good. Kasi binabantayan talaga. PPEs, kasi even before the pandemic, tayo sa ID Lab, familiar na sa word na PPEs. So, basics, masks. Tuwing kailangan gumamit ng masks.
The basic PPE dito is the goggles and the mask.
Mask.
So, the goggles, yan yung pinaka-important dito. Without the goggles, we won't allow you to borrow the power tools.
I see.
And the machines. You can't use the machines without the goggles.
Question, sir, nakasalamin naman po ako. Pwede po bang wala ng goggles?
Yes, sir. Kung nakasalamin kayo, pwede na kasi it's protection na rin. Pero kung gusto nyo pa rin mag-goggles, better.
Pero for bigger machines, saka mas delikado, advisable talaga may goggles pa over the glasses, no?
Much better. Kung may eyeglass, pinapayagan
for simple works. Okay, kailan kailangan mag-mask? All the time ba?
For the mask, normally, mas strict kami when sanding. At saka yung mga cutting wood. Kasi may mga fumes yun.
Yeah.
So, ayaw namin kayong magkasakit in the near future. So, let's prevent it. So, magdala na lang palagi ng goggles and ng
and spray painting, di ba? Kasi eventually these student of ours mag-spray painting. So definitely. Pag nagka-cutter lang ng papel, kailangan pa ba ng mask? Hindi na.
Pag cutter, mas okay goggles.
Goggles talaga.
Kasi you never know, pag nag-snap yung blade,
tumalsik
somewhere, much better na may protection tayo.
Alright. Hindi naman nangyayari dito na nagfo-full, ano talaga, yung suit talaga, hazmat.
May student tayo na nag-jumpsuit. Pagka gagawa sila ng machine, they wear the jumpsuit.
Okay. Most common injuries, can you cite one or two injuries, na klase ng injuries na madalas nangyayari in the ID Lab?
Madalas na injury natin is sa sander.
Ano nangyari?
So, normally, may mga student tayo na nagsasand na medyo maliit na workpiece. Then, hindi nila namamalayan, yung finger nila nasasama na sa sand ng workpiece nila.
Pedicure, namamanik.
So, pag pumasok sila dito, ubos na yung fingernail nila.
Oh my God.
May bruises na dito.
Well, ako, I can attest to that kasi students pa lang kami noon before even back in the old lab, talagang we're saying this kasi to share lang para maingatan. Kasi nababawasan naman na siya recently than before kasi mas maingat. Pero it happened to me also. So, kailangan maging maingat. So, ibig sabihin, you were telling me earlier na pag masyadong maliit, ibig sabihin merong minimum or maximum size na advisable para sa sanding machine. Hindi pwedeng sobrang liit. So, pag sobrang liit, anong advisable na gawin?
Pag maliliit na workpiece na sir, we have sanding block na available sa lab.
Okay.
Na pwedeng lahiramin. Then, we have the moto sander.
Okay.
Yun yung pang small pieces talaga. Then, yung iba is pwedeng file. Pwedeng sandpaper.
Or Dremel, no? For the tiny details. Okay. What's the worst thing that has happened here in the lab?
The worst
Natatandaan
thing
mo?
is yung accident namin with this bandsaw. So, one of our student, may workpiece siya na wini-work on. Mga ganito lang kaliit siguro.
Pinilit niya.
Then, medyo hard kasi yung wood. So, medyo nahirapan yung blade natin. Then, yung tendency na kasi matigas yung wood.
Oh my God.
Push mo yung wood sa blade. So, dumulas yung wood. Pumitik yung thumb niya. So, tumama sa blade yung... yung kamay niya tumama sa blade.
Ilang cm or ilang feet?
So, hindi namin nakita kung ilang feet kasi sinugod agad namin siya sa clinic. Then,
stitches.
Inano agad siya sa ambulance natin to the nearest hospital. But we heard na nasa 4 to 5 stitches daw
Oh my God.
yung laki ng damage.
But I'm pretty sure hindi na naulit yon. Hindi na naulit yun kasi naging safeguard na rin natin dito na every time someone's using the power, even the power tools, no, saka the bigger stationary machines that we have, may nagsusupervise na palagi.
Ayun din yung reason bakit pag walang bantay ang isang student sa isang machine, hindi namin muna pinapagamit.
Bawal as
So
much
they
as
have to
possible.
wait for an available technician bago sila pwedeng gumamit.
That's good. That's good. Oh, kumusta naman yung student? Wala kang balita. Okay na siya.
Okay na yun.
Ayun. Okay. What if may nangyari dito sa lab like a small fire or whatever? May mga makakalabas ba tayo?
Yes, sir. For fire naman, we have 3 fire extinguisher here inside. Isa sa may door ng welding room natin. Then we have one at the middle. Then we have one at the
sa likod ko. Okay, so kahit saan man abutin, may madadampot. Nakakalabas ba tayo dito?
Yes, sir. We have a very big fire exit. So,
very big.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yan.
And then that leads straight to the
Fire exit stairs, sir.
okay, thank you. So alam na natin saan tapakas pag kailangan tumakas. Okay, sa apoy. Alright. So let's proceed na tayo kasi yun nga hindi natin pwedeng skip this part kasi inuuna natin safety. And I can see that you have a lot of tools there. Try nating isa-isahin kung kaya ng oras, Sir Emer. Let's start with the most common hand tools. So yung hindi muna di kuryente diyan. Can we go through some of the tools that you have there?
So the most common na hinihiram dito is the steel ruler.
Okay.
So
Steel, bakit bakal? Di pwedeng plastic or kahoy kasi meron plastic eh.
This is basically para sa cutter.
Cutter.
So when you do cutting, pag plastic to kasi is pag medyo tumabi yung cutter nyo, makakat nyo pati yung ruler.
Oo, saka pwedeng mag-slip papunta sa daliri.
So, not like the steel ruler, kung makikita nyo, marami ng gas-gas, so marami nang lumampas.
Okay.
Cutter dyan.
So, matibay siya. Kasing tibay mo, Emer. Kasing tatag ng puso mo. Alright, let's proceed to the next one. What do you have there? Ayan, familiar na yan eh. We have there, pakita mo yung mga screwdriver natin na flathead.
Meron household na. So, sure, meron na kayo. Like, screwdriver.
Sa kotse, yeah.
Yeah, the pliers. Ay, sorry. Ito, tri-square.
Okay.
One of the most used din dito. So, ito, specialized is the caliper.
Okay, medyo foreign sa iba sa atin. What is that for? Mukha siyang martilyong may something.
So, this is used for measuring.
Okay.
So, especially kung may class kayong drafting. So, ipapa-draft kayo ng certain product or workpiece ng prof nyo. Then, you can easily measure it. So, yun. This is used for the outside dimension. This is for the inner. And this is for the depth.
Ayun. So, if I may add, sa 3D model making, ginagamit din yan to ensure na yung mga symmetrical na projects, yung isang side halimbawa is kailangan maging yung model na ginagawa mo probably made of wood or clay or soft or hard material. If you want to make sure that one side has the same measurement as the other side, yan din ang ginagamit. Okay, ano pa bang tools yan, Sir Emer?
This is chisel for carving.
Okay.
So may different sizes yan.
Para saan ang chisel? Ba't matulis?
Normally this is used for wood carving.
Okay.
Ang pinaka-partner niya is the mallet.
Okay.
So,
Hindi siya may partner. Okay. Okay.
So, the other one is yung pinaka-niniram sa amin is the file.
Okay, para saan yung file? Saka tama ba yung nakikita kung magaspang siya? May parang
Yes, sir.
serrated or very hard, ano?
This is like sanding paper
Okay.
na may shape. So, sorry. So, meron siyang mga specific na roll for sanding. So, this is the round file and this is the flat and semi-round.
Okay. Ano pa meron dyan? Sa hand tools mo?
So, isa sa pinaka-gamit ng mga student namin,
Maliliit.
at yung nire-require namin na bilhin niya, cheaper lang to. Actually, mga 200 to 300
Okay. We
na.
highly recommend that you get that for small details, no?
So, this is the needle file.
Mhm.
So, normally you buy it per set.
Mhm.
So, iba-ibang shape na siya. So,
Alright. Tapos, syempre, meron ka ring lagari. Para saan yan? Bakit kakaiba yung itsura ng lagari na yan?
for the saw,
Okay.
so, this is the normal na nakikita nyo sa mga karpentero. So, this is the crosscut saw.
Mhm.
This is normally used for wood.
Okay.
So, this is the... Wait, nakalimutan.
Lagaring bakal.
Oh, yeah, the lagaring bakal. Nakalimutan ko yung term. Hacksaw, yeah. So, this is the hacksaw. This is for metal.
Okay. For metal naman. And then meron tayong clamps na parang pwede mong
Yes.
place kahit saan. And then meron tayong clamps na nakafix sa table. What are those for?
Ito yung din isa sa pinaka hinihiram dito sa lab. Actually, ito yung pinakamabilis maubos.
Oh, okay.
So,
Pang-hold, no? Ng pang-clamp, pang-ipit, pang-hold ng ginuglo.
pag nagko-combine kayo ng wood, may ikakat kayo, use it para mag-clamp siya
So,
sa
iniikot siya.
table. Yes.
Okay. And then if we can show the bigger, table clamp over there. Pang malalaking object naman yung nasa kanto. Oo. Okay. Okay. Are we done with the hand tools? Meron pa ba tayong na-miss out?
Yun lang halos.
The most commonly used tools yan, no? Okay, let's proceed with the power tools. Ito naman, literally the kuryente, some of them are needs to be plugged sa wall outlets, and some of them are in fact battery operated. Let's start with the tool na pinakamadalas gamitin.
Ito yung pinakamadalas gamitin. We recommend when entering the laboratory, yung mga girls na may mahabang buhok,
Okay.
please don't forget to tie them.
Tali.
Kasi ito mismong rotary tool na to, may incident na kami na sumabit yung hair nung isang student namin
Okay.
sa power tool. Mabuti medyo
Final destination.
medyo ang tawag dyan,
Nagapan.
nagapan na turn off niya yung
Okay.
power tool. So hindi na ubos yung hair niya.
Okay. Well, thank God. Hindi naman na naulit yun, no? Kasi nga,
Hindi na.
naging mas strict na after that.
Yes, sir.
Sa pagtatali ng buhok or medyo hindi na uso yung net. Pero anything that will hold the hair, lalo na kung mahaba. Okay. Ano pang meron? Para saan nga pala yung Dremel?
So,
Yung mga tools na yan.
so we also have the wireless.
Mhm.
So, Dremel is a very useful tool. Especially sa mga students. Marami kaming students bumibili ng sarili nilang rotary tool. Why? There are different bits. So, kung titingnan mo yung bits ng Dremel, nasa around maybe 100 kind of bits. So, pwede siyang stone bits. Stone bits are for grinding metals. Meron din siyang sander, what they call the drum sander. That's for sanding wood, plastic, metal, hindi siya masyadong ano kasi nasisira siya. So, meron din siya engraving na bit. So, this is used for engraving wood.
Okay.
So, may mga sizes pa yan. This is the smaller. Actually, may smallest pa. Then, may mga bigger bits pa.
May brush din yan na tips, di ba? Panglinis or pang-create ng
Meron din siyang
texture.
steel brush na bit. Meron din siyang cutting disc na bit.
Pang-cut, yeah.
Actually, marami sobra siyang bit.
So, very versatile. Napakaraming gamit ng...
Pwede nyo siyang gamitin mini router. So, may router bit din siya.
I
Na may
see.
attachment.
Very, very useful. This is something na kung kaya, would be very useful. Lalo na kung mahilig sa model making aspect ng industrial design, physical model making. What else do we have there, Sir Emer?
The second one is we have the Jigsaw. So, we have the old one, the wired. Then, nag-purchase na tayo ng wireless.
Wireless, astig. Okay.
Yes, kasi nakita namin nahirapan yung student, lalo na pag they're cutting the 4x8 wood. Yung mahalos kasi laki nitong lamesa.
The cord gets in the way, no?
Yes, kailangan mo pa ng extension para umabot ka sa gitna. So, with the wireless, wala ka ng problemang...
Question, gaano katagal yung nilalast ng battery usually ng mga ganyang tool?
Yung sa mga interested na bumili ng wireless, normally, they give the
Kasama na.
1.5 Ah battery. So, medyo maliit lang yung capacity niyan. It will last you around 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
But the lab, nag-order ako ng mas malaki. So, this is 6 Ah.
Okay. Mas mabigat ba? Anong AC niya?
Mas mabigat siya, mas malaki.
Okay.
Compared sa, pero this will last you around 30 to 45 minutes of use.
Not bad.
Yeah, yun.
Okay, what else do we have there? Parang hair dryer ba yan? What's that?
So ito, isa sa pinaka-gamitin din. This is the heat gun.
So, heat gun. So, mainit.
Yes.
Kailangan mag-gloves.
Medyo mag-ingat lang tayo kasi the maximum heat nito pwedeng masunog ang balat.
Ayun. And avoid plastic tables kasi ako mismo muntik nag-melt yung plastic na table ko sa bahay. Naiiwan ko siyang
avoid touching the metal
Yes.
Kasi bumabaga to pag medyo mataas yung heat. So may temperature adjustment siya.
So what is it used for? What materials can be used with that? Of course, for drying some materials or kung kailangan patuin. Not all.
Dito sa mga students, they use this for normally for wood bending.
Wood bending.
So pag binasaan nila para mabilis mag-dry, they use this.
Other materials?
They also use it for bending acrylic.
Acrylic, no? Yun yung parang glass pero plastic na clear. Pinaka-common form niya.
So, yun yung parang basic use niya. Pero yung iba, pinangtutuyo ng sapatos. Pero we don't recommend na ganun.
Wag. Hindi na naulit yan, di ba? Okay. And then Sintra, of course. Sintra din, very gentle heat lang kasi mas madaling, not like acrylic na medyo matagal, saka mas, things that we will teach as we move along in the ID course. So heat gun, pinapainit niya to manipulate certain materials by heating. What else do we have there? May malaking drill dyan? Impact drill?
This is our wide na hand drill.
Hand drill.
So
iba't ibang hand drills.
This is the wireless.
Wireless naman.
Counterpart.
Okay, and then may pang sand ka dyan, iba't ibang klase ng mga sanding machines, right?
This is the palm sander.
Okay.
Ito, recommend ko na meron kayo. Personally, pwede. Pero by the square one. Para sandpaper lang yung
magkakat lang. Yung parang refill niya.
Kasi ito, you have to buy the specific size of the sandpaper. Medyo mahal yung per piece nito.
Parang hindi nakakapagod mag-sand by hand. Masakit sa wrist, masakit. Pag may mga projects na kailangan ng heavier sanding.
So kung may project kayo, shape lang. Then, yun.
Okay. Ano pa bang natira dyan? Parang we're good na, no? So reminder lang uli, make sure na ingat lang kasi we will not get tired with reminding you that these can sometimes injure kung hindi maingat at hindi marunong gumamit. Now, I believe we have some questions, Sir Jay. May mga gusto yatang magtanong. Sir Jay? You have questions?
Sorry, my mic was off there. Yeah, I think a few people are already raising their hands. Yeah, we have Ramon here and Arela. Let's start with Arela first. So, for those naman na gusto pa magtanong, no, just throw your questions dito sa chat box if you want, or dun sa Facebook Live. If you're there in the Facebook Live, just comment your questions, okay? And kung gusto niyo magtanong, like directly, you can just raise your hands, and I'll give you guys a spotlight, okay?
Hello, good afternoon, sir and Sir Emer. Among the hand tools that you have shown already, which do you think are the most essential for the home setting?
Yung medyo, ano ba dyan yung parang all-in-one na marami kang magagamit with just that tool.
Of course, the rotary tool.
Okay.
Ito yung pinaka-versatile na tool dito.
Sa hand tools, ano yung hindi pwedeng wala ka?
Sa hand tools.
Cutter definitely, kasi marami tayong kinakat na
Yeah, the
paper.
cutter and the cutting mat.
Cutting mat, ayun, di natin napakita, but I'm sure everyone's familiar with that. Of course, pag may mga wire, like sa thread classes, yung ng mga wire sculpture, kailangan ng pliers or yung mga pliers na yan and the cutter. So I guess, ayun, I hope that answers your question, Adela. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we have another question here from Ramon. Okay, Ramon?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, aside from tools, of the tools that you've shown us, what else would you say are essentials in a home workshop?
Essential for home workshop.
Aside from tools, yeah.
Firstly, hindi talaga tools ang kailangan. So, kailangan mo muna is table.
A good table. Sturdy and
sturdy table. So,
reliable.
hindi dapat siya umuga.
Dapat hindi umuga, unlike that table.
Hindi sir, kasi hindi pantay yung floor.
I see.
So, umuga
Okay.
siya. So, sturdy table. First, you need to see if there's enough ventilation. So, kasi habang nagwo-work ka, nagbi-build up yung dust. Kung wood yan, dust. Sa metal, may fumes. So, kung nagwo-weld ka, lalo na yung fumes na yun. So, well-ventilated area is very recommended.
Ayun, so what Sir Emer's been trying to tell us is, even before we go straight into buying the tools, is to prepare the workspace. Diba? Yung work environment and the lighting na rin. Diba? Kailangan maliwanag yung lugar.
Kaya dito sa lab, mapapansin nyo,
multiple.
Yeah, nagdadagdag pa kami ng lighting every, kasi may mga spots pa rin na madilim. Strain din sa mata ng students. So, hindi rin maganda sa working environment.
Yeah, but definitely to answer the question, definitely ruler. Of course, din lang natin nasama yung mga different sizes and types of cutters.
Actually, sir, yung iba naman
Pambahay,
dito,
clamps, no?
household tools na. So, malamang yung mga parents yung meron na like the screwdriver, the pliers, the hammer, minsan meron na rin. So, to add lang, maybe the clamps.
Yeah, and maybe a small table clamp. May mga tiny version yung mga clamp na ganyan to hold your workpiece in place. Ayun, and yun nga, kung power tools, ang pinaka-flexible and versatile.
Sa power tools naman,
Dremel.
Dremel and Spindle Sander.
Yes. And if you deal with a lot of acrylic and bending stuff, hair dryer. Heat gun.
Yeah,
okay. And then yun nga, every household would benefit from a good basic hand drill, di ba? Kahit mga for repairs.
And sir, kung starter ka pa lang naman na mag-start, better buy muna the wired one kasi it's more cheaper, more cheaper. Kasi the wireless ones, mga times 2, times 3 yung price.
Yeah.
So, wired muna.
Yun. Okay. Thank you sa question.
Thank you, sir.
Can we proceed, Sir Jay?
Well, we have a few, pero pwede naman to for later.
Yeah, sige, pwede for later. We can proceed siguro. And we can go na to the stationary machine siguro. Samahan tayo ni Emer doon sa very first big thing over there sa blue machine na yun. And teka, lipat natin yung camera kay Emer. Ayan. Okay.
Hi. Sir,
Normal na.
for our first stationary machine,
Okay. Emer, before that, ano muna yung, napansin ko yun eh, may malaki dyan eh. What's that big box over there? What's
so
that for?
in the lab we have two big vacuums here. Ang pinaka-function nila is for the
Okay.
dust.
So, centralize yung dust collection. Hindi tayo manual lang na vacuum cleaner na isa-isa.
Yes, sir. Kaya
Centralize yung lab.
Normally, we turn it on pagka midterm tsaka finals.
Okay.
When talagang maraming student gumagawa dito, then the fumes and the dust talagang nakukulob dito, then we turn it on.
But of course, meron din tayong regular shop na vacuum cleaner,
Yes,
right?
sir. May mga
Okay.
small vacuums tayo dyan sa mga tabi. Sa
Okay.
mga tabi-tabi.
Yung next machine na yan, na mukhang
Yes, sir.
pang-flatten ng tinapay, what's that?
So this is what they call the 3-in-1 shear press brake and slip roll.
Okay, para saan yan? What's that?
This is basically for GI sheets. So,
Pang-bend?
yung pinakababa niya is for cutting.
Cutting. Right?
There's a blade there. Yan, for cutting.
Okay.
So may
Wow.
Watch your fingers.
Okay, sige.
So, sa middle part niya is for bending. So, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 30 degrees, pwede.
Okay,
So, this is
na-specify.
for the roll. So, feed mo yung GI sheet, then you roll it para
Mag-curve naman.
bumilog
Mag-curve naman.
yung GI sheet.
Very interesting. So, baka lang sheet, GI sheets or metal sheets ang
Metal
dyan.
sheets.
Okay. Next machine, ang laki niya na. What's that?
So, next natin, sir, is the vertical milling machine.
Okay, what's that? Milling
So, this
machine.
is, if you're familiar with the CNC, this is the manual version.
Okay.
So, the CNC is the computerized. So, this is the manual.
Subtractive.
Yes, subtractive machine. So, you put a
The workpiece.
workpiece, a piece of wood, then subtractive siya. So, magbabawas siya ng
Sort of parang kina-carve out niya yung gusto mo i-carve out. Wood lang ba pwede dyan, sir?
you can use metal.
Pati metal,
Pero, you have to change the bit, para sa metal.
Aluminum, pwede rin dyan.
Aluminum siya pwede.
Okay.
So, medyo may mga accessories siya pag magme-metal ka kasi like pag nag-metal to metal ka, nag-heat up yung material. Meron siyang meron siyang pang spray ng coolant.
Okay.
May pang spray siya ng coolant, sir.
So habang nag-ooperate yung machine, yung umiinit na part, merong coolant na nag-spray automatically
Pero
sa part
by
na yan.
now, we don't allow pa yung metal.
Okay.
So, this is used for wood pa lang muna.
Okay.
So, yung pinaka-bed niya, pwede siya i-move X, Y, and Z axis.
I
So,
see.
pwede siya
Okay.
up, down, left, right, front, back.
I see. That's good.
Then, yung pinaka-head niya, natitilt. Tilt left, right, up, down.
I see.
So, ano rin yung...
Very flexible din, oh. So parang kahit anong part ng isang workpiece, pwedeng abutin niya.
Yes, sir.
Halos, okay. What's the next machine that you have there, Sir Emer?
So, this is the planer.
Okay.
So, anything na...
And we're back!
Di ba? Sorry. So, this is the planer. Normally, when you buy wood sa mga hardware, pag hindi pa sila makinis, i-feed niya siya dito para mag-smoothen yung surface ng wood.
So, para lang they can visualize, ipapasok mo siya sa ilalim, parang ang yung, parang nagbe-bake ng tinapay na nag-conveyor, no? Parang ganun, tapos
Nakikita
move
niya
siya.
na pangluto ng pizza.
Ganun.
So, pag pumasok siya, nalabas sa kabila.
Tapos paglabas na, nasi-shave off na, pumapantay na yung kahoy.
So, yung surface na shave off. So, ang iniingatan lang namin dito is wood with nails.
Ay, wasak yan pagka
Yes.
hindi nag-ingat.
So,
Okay, yeah.
may mas malaki kaming planer doon na bungi dahil may nails yung wood. So, we check
Okay.
first yung wood bago...
Quick question, pag mga ganyan ba, binabayaran ng student dapat?
Depende, sir. Kung,
Depende, case to
ano,
case.
If, actually, inaano pa namin yan kung talagang kasalanan ng student or...
In
Minsan,
case to case
accident.
basis or may investigation usually para
Yes,
fair.
sir.
That's good to hear. Kasi minsan may mga ganyang certain damages din sa mga consumables o mga certain parts na hindi ba iwasan talaga.
Ayun, sir.
Diba?
Kasi
Kaya
minsan,
liliway din tayo.
overuse na,
Oo.
or talagang end of life
Natural wear and tear nung okay, ano yung ang laki niya na? What's that?
Sir, so actually we have 3 late machines.
Okay.
May wood tayo sa likod. So next time na natin i-ano.
Okay.
So these are both metal lathe. So this is our old ones, maliit lang. Then na-purchase tayo ng bigger one.
Anong ginagawa niyan?
So, the basic na product na ginagawa na sinasalang sa lathe machine is baseball bat.
Okay.
So, kung makikita nyo paano ginagawa yung baseball bat, it's mahabang wood, then ito-turn ng machine, then the tool post, ito yung tool post, then this is the tool bit. So si tool bit ang nag-subtract dun sa wood.
Okay. May sample ka sa taas, tama ba? Gawa yan dyan?
Yes, this is one of the samples,
Okay,
gawa
so-
ng student.
So umiikot yan doon. Can you position kung ano yung itsura niya pag nilagay doon?
So,
Usually,
ganito siya.
parang ganyan.
Yes.
And then umiikot yung part na yan ng machine. Initially yung wood na yan hindi pa bilog, very bare pa. Tapos parang as it turns, yung pangkat niya nandun nakapwesto in place, you can move it to wherever direction you want, and then ang end product is something like that. Tama na? Ayan, nag-move.
Yan, bali may automatic na feed do.
Okay.
Pwede siyang automatic na mag left and right. Then, i-forward backward mo na lang yung tool post.
Okay. Similar din ang action yung machine sa kabila, di ba? Sa kayong nandun sa likod.
Ayun, sir.
Okay. Before we proceed, Sir Emer, bago tayo magpatuloy, if I may do a share screen again, Sir Jay. And okay, some general reminders lang po. To those who want to operate these machines, these are very, very important, and we will never get tired of you these general reminders kahit pa ulit-ulit. Again, do not use these power machines until you have been trained. We are showing these to you to prepare you for that time, lalo na yung mga bigger machines dito, na hopefully, no, God willing, pagdating ng time na yan, at least you're familiar already. Kasi this is the closest thing that we can do to bringing the lab closer to your home. So do not use these machines until you have been properly trained. Okay, these machines won't give you, most of the time, they won't give you a second chance. Okay, but there's very little room for error for some of these machines. No, it's either the simplest thing that can happen is may ma-waste kayong material, di ba, Sir Emer, sayang, tapos wala nang mabilhan or gabi na, deadline is tomorrow. And the worst thing that can happen, gaya ng kwento Sir Emer kanina, is that nga, nasugatan or may mga hopefully, wag naman sanang major injuries. But yeah, this is us reminding you na the margin of error pagdating sa mga machines ito, if you're not careful, ay nandyan, it's there. The danger, it can be there. If you're not careful. Stay away from the person operating the machine. If we can show, pamaya pwede na makita kasi pag ikot ni Sir Emer yung floor, kahit later na, yung floors, may markings yung mga floors namin dito to indicate the working space, and people outside that space are not supposed to enter that space when someone is working in the machine na nasa tapat ng person na yon. So, yeah, may mga minimal working space tayo na ino-observe, mga marked work zones here. And we encourage you to have something like that also in your households, in your home-based labs, di ba, Sir Emer? Lalo na yung mga may kapatid na maliliit.
Para maiwasan din, sir, na kunwari may ginagawa din, mabangga yung hands
Yes, or even pets,
Tinatamaan
or mga kapatid na maliit na nagka-cut ka or nagdi-drill ka, tapos biglang may tumakbo, hinabol na laruan. We want everyone here to be careful kasi mas control environment ang ID lab sa than sa houses eh. So that's one reminder what we'd like to give everyone. Almost all of these machines, lahat ba sa Emer may emergency stop button?
Yes, sir.
Lahat ba yung mga big machines?
Yes, sir. Normally, the big machines have stop button.
It's usually the biggest button na red on these machines. Most of these machines, I'm looking at them here, most of them have a red big button that says stop. So in case na may mangyari, kaya the very first thing that you learn about these machines is, it's like learning how to drive. No? Hindi pwedeng gasolinador lang agad. Yung tuturo sa'yo paano huminto, para mag-stop. Importante yung alam mo kailan humihinto, diba, Sir Emer?
Actually, sir, the scarier the machine is merong stop button.
Okay.
So, kasi ito kasi normally, like, yung mga project ng mga students, for the late machine, chine-check palagi namin yung quality ng wood.
Okay.
Kasi if hindi ganun kaganda yung quality ng wood, like yung mga last year namin, nung bago mag-pandemic, bumibiyak yung wood na finifeed namin sa late machine. So, pag bumiyak yung wood, tumatalsik.
Okay. So, kailangan stop agad?
Yes.
Okay.
So, laging may technician naka-standby
To stop.
to stop the
Yeah,
machine.
very important yung stop button na yan. So, hindi lang yung technician. Gaya na sabi ko kanina, the first thing that you need to learn and need to memorize is where that stop button is located before anything else. Okay, and last but not the least, and a very good example here showing Sir Jay, when using these machines, use dust extractors and ventilations. Now, in your homes, of course, it's near too impossible na, or it might be too difficult to do something like this kasi it costs a lot. Kaya nga dito lang tayo sa lab meron ito. But at the very least, they should have space na open, lalo na where they're spraying or sanding, di ba?
Normally, sir, yung mga student natin, garage yung ginagamit.
Oo, but as much as possible, if they can, in the future subjects, we are actually encouraging them na kahit mag-DIY on their own ventilation system. That is not supposed to damage the environment as well. We are very, very conscious of that. So, Emer, continue tayo. Ano yung next machine na yan?
So, this is the bandsaw. So, safe naman to si bandsaw. So,
Safe yan, everybody. We would like to tell everyone na safe naman.
this is one of the safest actually sa mga machine dito. Kasi lang minsan, lang talaga, careless lang kami may nadadali.
Kaya safety first talaga. So yan, we've had enough of the bandsaw already. We have two. What machines do we have there? Yung dun sa may dulo sa Emer.
This is our old miter saw. So, in-upgrade na natin siya. So, from the ordinary miter saw, we have here the compound miter saw. Okay. So, what's the difference? So, the normal miter saw is yung workpiece, yung size ng workpiece is smaller. Kasi up and down lang yung movement ng machine.
And that's a very good safety feature. Parang nagko-cover siya agad when you lift the thing up, no? Natatakpan siya.
So, the machine guard, so pagka binaba mo bago siya umangat, so that's safety para hindi mahawakan yung blade. As you can see, malaki yung blade niya.
Wow. Kita naman sa camera, no? Yeah, okay.
So it's used for cutting PVC pipes, wood blocks. So, ang difference ni compound miter saw, bigger yung wood na pwede mo i-cut.
Okay.
Pwede siya i-extend.
So yung reach niya mas mahaba.
Up and down na siya. So, next natin sir is the scroll saw. So, the difference of bandsaw to scroll saw is specialized yung scroll saw for curves.
Finer details, no?
Yes, sir.
Mga malalaking cuts and straight cuts, hindi dyan.
Yes, sir. And pagka meron kayong gusto i-cut sa middle ng workpiece nyo, pwede to kasi natatanggal yung blade.
Okay. May reminder tayo kay Sir Proofer. Very good reminder. Again, we will not get tired in saying these reminders. Wear goggles when using these machines. Goggles is a must, no, sa lahat ng mga big machines na to.
Yes, sir. Goggles is important.
Yeah.
You can't use these machines without the goggles. So,
Okay.
yun yung number 1 rule dito.
And dust na rin kasi usually
Yes,
dusty
dust.
talaga, may mga debris
Yes,
yan.
ito, ano talaga sa dust.
Okay, advisable ba na mag-gloves na rin?
No, for the machine, no. It's not advisable na
Bakit, sir?
mag-gloves. Inaano na namin mag-gloves is for chemical handling and for the GA sheet.
Para better control and maneuverability, tama? Ng
Yes, sir.
object na dinadaan sa mga machines na
Pero
yan.
kasi pagka yung sa mga ganitong machine, normally, delikado kasi pagka kinain yung gloves.
Baka dumire-diretso. So it's not advisable pala, no? Kasi pwedeng usisipin.
Kasi malalakas yung mga motors nito.
Mahihila.
Once na sumabit.
Ayun pala yung vacuum cleaner.
Ito.
Ayun pala.
This is
Okay.
one of our vacuum cleaner. Rigid yan, rigid.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, ano pang meron dito? We have 3 of these machines
Ay,
here.
ito pa, sir.
Ayan pa pala. Okay, what's that? Sorry.
So this is the table saw. Normally, we use this for cutting 4x8 na mga plywood. So, meron siyang guide dito. Then, actually, I'm planning to upgrade this table saw na kasi medyo limited yung table niya. Kasi, usually, pag kailangan mo ng specific na size ng wood na maramihan, dito mo siya i-feed.
I see.
Isa-set mo tong guide, then feed na lang feed.
I see. Parang continuous mo siya. Para kung kailangan magkakapantay ng sizes.
Yes, sir. Kailangan mo ng 2x2. I-feed nyo lang, isusukat yung 2x2. Then, feed na lang feed.
I see.
So, next natin is the drill press.
Drill press. Okay, what are those for? Parang drill lang din naman yan, di ba? Pero stationary.
Actually, ito si drill press kaya gawin ni vertical milling machine.
Okay.
So, meron siyang chuck converter na pang drill.
Okay.
So, basically, this is for drilling holes.
Drilling holes lang talaga. So, strictly drilling holes yan, unlike the bigger machine over there.
Yes, sir. This is used for metal, wood, and plastic.
Okay, so very versatile.
Yes, sir. Pero depende siya sa bit. So, sa drill bit nyo.
Okay.
So, actually, kaya din siya sa cement, sa masonry.
Okay, so remind lang natin, Emer, whether hand drill, powered na tools, or the bigger drills, iba-iba ang bit pag wood, iba pag masonry, ibang uses yung mga yan.
So, ang pinaka-standard na ginagamit namin dito is for metal.
Okay.
Kasi yung for metal na drill bit, pwede mo siya gamitin sa wood.
I
Pero
see.
hindi mo siya pwede gamitin sa masonry.
Okay, tandaan nyo na kasi medyo confusing yun sa ilan na mga bago pa lang with these kinds of bits.
Kasi yung pagka nag-drill bit ka na for wood, walang example natin, hindi siya pwede for metal.
Okay.
Kasi yung for wood na drill bit, may pointed siya sa dulo para guide sa wood. So pag sa metal, hindi siya advisable gamitin.
Hindi advisable.
Kasi sira.
And again, yung mga lab assistants, mga lab guys natin, lab friends natin dito are always available to guide you kung ano yung mga tamang gagawin mga materials na to. Okay, so we have 3. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Ayun yung stop button doon.
Yes, sir. This is the stop button. This is the on and stop.
Ayun. Okay. And then what else do we have, Sir Emer?
This is the Spindle Sander.
Okay.
So, like the other sander, mas gamitin lang to kasi may platform siya. Then, mas madali siya. Pinupush lang yung workpiece.
Okay, so paikot-ikot lang yan, no?
Okay, umiikot siya din, nag-up and down.
Okay.
So, pag may rounded ka na part, maganda rin siya.
Okay, para pang indent o panggawa ng concave or convex na surfaces. Okay, and then I believe we have sanding machines outside na hindi natin mapapakita ngayon. But how many sanding machines do we have outside?
Outside 2, Sir Meron. Ay,
Okay.
3.
So-
Isa mo to Sander.
Yeah, so yun yung sinasabi ni Sir Emer na for bigger work pieces, like lalo na sa wood, and mga bigger surfaces that need to be flattened and sanded, yung mga machine sa labas. And when we get the chance, papakita namin yun sa inyo. Alright, so we're done. We're actually done with all the machines that we see here and the most basic power tools. So we're actually open now to questions. We're opening the floor to more spontaneous and continuous Q&A from this point on. Sir Jay?
Oh, hindi ako naka-on na naman. Yan. All right. Thank you, Sir Marlon, and thank you, Sir Emer. That was very, very cool, ano? So, coming from dito sa kung saan ako nakaupo, no, seeing these things make me wanna like go back to school. Sana nandiyan na tayo lahat ngayon. Ay, nako. Anyways, no, so looking at everyone, you all, I see na may mga tao na naka-raise ng hands, but we actually have a few phone-in questions, no? But before we go to our phone-in questions, we have a question from Miss Dorothy. Subukan nyo hulaan kung nasan si Miss Dorothy first before we show her to you, but Miss Dorothy has a few questions, I think.
Hanapin ko
So, Miss Dorothy?
Ayun!
Ikot.
Hey! So how do you intend to ask your question, Miss Dorothy? Paano ba? Ayun! Okay, sana makita ako, no? Okay.
And so, physical distancing pa rin sila, ano?
Will you provide a list guide? Teka, pinulikat ako. Of basic tools and guidelines in setting up the workshop. Will we be providing guidelines and tools ba or a list ng mga sa workshop? Yeah. Okay, actually, I can answer this. Kami na Sir Pat and Sir Jay can answer this because we are currently handling the development of this particular subject, this particular course, particularly lab safe. So sa lab safe, mga lab safe students dito and workshop, a few of my students are from the workshop class as well. Ba't ganito yung mask ko? Hindi lang, Mukhang ko ewan dun. Uminom tubig eh. Anyway, ayun nga. Yeah, we'll be providing that list particularly dun sa mga lab safe students namin. So we definitely, one of these days, pupunta kami dun. Inuuna lang natin itong mismong lab. Maybe Sir Pat can answer that also.
Mic test. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, quick share on screen, just to show you what's happening. So yes, we are bound to share this with everyone. Actually, we started with Lab Safe, which now in turn is already, as we know, home safe. And these are some of the stuff that's already there in their big sky, and it's very detailed. Where we even have videos of how to do things, and yeah, we're in full gear to set up this home-based workshop, and hopefully you guys will be able to set up probably not as complicated as the one that Emer is showing to you right now, but something that's more useful for our home settings.
Thank you for that wonderful answer, Sir Pat. No, thank you. Yeah, we've been sitting down on this and we've been doing a lot of planning with regards to how to do work on all our projects na kahit nasa bahay lang. And we are confident, like what we always say, we are confident that makakapagawa kayo ng mga outputs ninyo despite this reality and the limitations that we have. And trust that we are doing everything that we can, kami sa faculty, for you to achieve these wonderful projects later on. Next question, Sir Jay. Nakamute ka po.
Ayan. Okay, I keep messing that up. Anyways, we have another question, a phone-in question actually, from Sir Eric, no, who's out in, I think he has a class right now. His question is quite interesting, no. He asked, will the ID lab perform demos of the tools and materials for us to learn from home?
Okay, we are hoping na
Did you get that?
Yeah, ayun, sorry. Ako ba? Micro, is it on? Oh, yeah, there you go. I think naka-on naman. Yeah, oo. We've been discussing that and there's a possibility na masundan itong ID Lab. Live natin with more series involving what you just mentioned, Sir Jay, yung sa question ni Sir Erico. But we are continuously discussing then how far we will go as far as allowing the students to use hand tools at home. So mag-abang lang siguro tayo in the talks yan right now. But definitely, whatever the outcome is, again, there's our assurance na makakagawa kayo ng mga proper projects at home regardless of the tools that you will be allowed to use.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you for that answer again. Now we have another question here. I think she's raising her hand. We have Nina raising her hand.
Hey,
Let's
na.
have Nina.
Hi, sir. Yeah, I have a question. So, in the case that hybrid classes are implemented again, will the ID workshop be open for use? And if so, what are some of like the new normal protocols that we might have to follow? Since there are already safety procedures now, how will those change?
Yeah, I think Sir Pat is better suited to answer this question. Sir Pat, please. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Hello, mic test. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Nice, perfect. Actually, it's a good question. Hi, Juliana. Nice to see you again. Actually, we've ever since the pandemic started last year, we were actually steps ahead. We are actually steps ahead, and in fact, the dean is here right now. I can see the dean. Hi, Dean Isela. Hi, thank you for joining us. Anyway, and too much to the college surprise, we were in the forefront in actually preparing for your return. Actually, that's the thing, and because of that, we were actually able to create a new format for the lab spaces, which in case of, which tells us about where to put the machines to allow more social distancing. We already brought a lot of dispensers all over the corridors. We have foot baths in every classroom. We will have UV box. So it's something that filters and actually disinfects our tools, so you can borrow. In fact, we're trying to work on that one right now, and hopefully you guys, maybe towards the end of this term, you'll be able to borrow equipment there and send it to your house through that system. But we're still working on it, and of course we always follow the guidelines of the school, whatever they tell us to do. And of course we are expecting your return on what I know is for the hybrid class to start next school year. Tama, next school year. Tama ba, Sir Romeo? Sir Romeo, next year. Yeah. On the other details, yes. On the other details, yeah, kulang na lang. Actually, we have so much stuff. We already bought equipment. We even Sir Emer, they have the hazmat suits around. What's missing is the vaccine itself. So hopefully, can actually buy the Sinovac and Pfizer, and we can inject people there in the lab. Yun na lang kulang. But yes, we are steps ahead on that, and hopefully we'll be seeing you again soon in the ID lab.
Thank you, sir. Can't
There
wait
you
for
go.
that.
Dami nagtatanong. Sir Jay, what else do we have
Yes,
there?
we have a few more actually. Medyo madami na ayun, ano nangyari sa camera ko. Wait, sorry. It's ano eh. It's jittery. Anyways, we have a question here from Rick Chen. Okay, from Facebook to. He's asking if nache-change po ba ang angle ng table saw. So I guess Sir Emer can answer this. Nache-change po ba ang angle ng table saw?
Yes, sir. Actually, for the table saw, as you can see here, there's an angle. May nakasulat siyang angle. So, we just release this. Yan. So yun, meron siyang from 0 to 45 degrees.
Nice.
Yan.
Ayun, so I guess that answers your question. Kasi there are really times when you need to set or to cut certain materials, lalo na wood, no?
And
Joinery, etc.
pwede natin i-adjust yung height ng blade. So, it will depends on
Okay.
how thick yung plywood mo. Then you adjust the height of the blade.
Nice. Ayun, hope that answers your question. Yes, the answer is yes. So Jay,
Right. So thank you for answering that. So we have a few more, no? Medyo dumadami actually, nakakatawa. Oh, we'd like to thank, we'd like to welcome our Dean, no? Dean Acela Dominguez here.
walang ka po.
Hello, Dean. Magandang hapon po. Hope you're enjoying as much as we are. Now, the next question po comes from Miss Melay. She asked, do you have recommendations for gloves that students should use? Okay, I think importante yung word niya na should use.
For the gloves, yung pang construction lang, yung kahit yung cheap lang na for construction sir, pwede na. Normally. Pero kung gusto niyo yung comfortable type, yung 3M na gloves, nasa around 200 per piece ata. Then, di naman siya, reusable naman siya, so you can, yun yung actually yung ginagamit namin dito sa lab. The 3M comfort glove siya ang tawag, parang ganun. So, yun yung pinaka-comfortable na nakita kong gloves na available sa market natin.
Ako meron akong Stanley, yung yellow and black. Yung yellow part niya parang sa Ace Hardware lang eh. Yung yellow part niya parang leather. I think genuine leather nga eh kasi ang tigas eh. And then fabric yung namakapal yung ibang parts and yung garter. Ako I like it. Magagamit ko siya.
Kasi,
Lalo na pag heat gun.
Kasi sir, ayun, napapakita ni Miss Dorothy, that's the 3M comfort glove. Paikot na. Yeah, that's the 3M comfort gloves. So, ang maganda dyan sa gloves na yan, hindi ako nag-ano ng brand. Hindi ako. So, hindi siya mainit sa kamay. Comfortable siya gamitin kahit buong araw mo siya suot. Yun yung maganda sa kanya.
Is that yours, Miss Dorothy? So yan. Oh, yeah. So, endorsed.
Hindi ako endorser ng 3M.
Endorsed. Thank you. Hope that answers the question, Sir Jay.
Yes, in fact, it does. No, thank you, sir. Ngayon, we can proceed with... Sino ba? Someone raising his hand earlier. Oh, we have Ramon. Hey, Ramon.
Hello again. So my question is, are there any future plans for new or upgraded stationary machines or tools in the workshop?
Sir Pat.
Actually, that's a technical question. Can you hear me, right? Hello, okay na.
Clear.
Yeah, actually, the pandemic taught us kasi na what we had right there is the things that we can't have at home. So yes, we are exploring technologies like VR technologies right now. Maybe you could do that. Especially one of the problems I have is how to teach you welding, and definitely it can't teach you welding. We even had the idea of creating a van that we're going to go to your place and actually teach it on the streets. But I guess going virtual is a way to go. In fact, if you study Arduino, one of the things that we teach there is scripting, and that's also another way of designing. So yes, that's the way to go. It's no longer much of the basic tools that are fixed in the labs, but virtual tools that we can use to make your education better.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There you go. Questions pa, Sir Jay? Meron pa yata. Maraming gusto magtanong.
Okay, question?
Meron pa ba gusto magtanong? Actually, we have one question. Actually, may tanong ako. Kasi like me, no, and a lot of us are here in our homes, no. We're eager to set up our own space, right? Our own workspace. So, ano ma-advise kaya ni Sir Emer sa atin to buy the types of the power tools to buy, no? Should we buy the AC ones, yung sinasaksak, or do we buy the DC ones with batteries? Anong masasuggest mo, Sir Emer?
Sir, for starter, sir, ano na lang muna, sir, wired na lang. Kasi una-una, it's much cheaper. Then second is, hindi kayo mabibitin. Kasi if you will go for the wireless, you have to buy extra batteries. Para once na malobat yung isa, charge nyo, then para tuloy-tuloy yung work. For the wired ones, wala kayong problema sa for the battery to go dead or ano. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but if I may say, yung battery operated can be very, very convenient, di ba?
Yes, yes sir, very
Mahal
convenient
lang.
siya. Yun lang. Kasi times 2, times 3 yung price niya. And
Oh, more than double usually. More than double.
Yes, more than double yung price niya. Kasi the battery itself for the 6AH nasa purchase ng school is nasa 5 to 6K na. Battery pa lang.
Battery pa lang.
Yes, and this Jigsaw compared to the wired one, this is around 8K. This is nasa 3 to 4K. So, malaki yung difference ng price range niya. Pero kung kaya niyo naman bumili ng wireless, much better. Pero kung medyo tight yung budget, and kailangan nyo muna kompletuhin yung mga kailangan yung tools, the wired is not that bad naman. Kasi din naman tayo lahat ng galing. So, wala namang problema dati na wala pa yung wireless. Kaso, yun lang, more convenient talaga yung wireless. Kaya nag-upgrade tayo ng to wireless na mga tools natin.
Ayun. More questions, Sir Jay? Meron pa ba?
Actually, sir, that sums up the questions we have for now. If merong gusto namang magbigay ng tips, siguro we can open the floor kasi we have faculty here. No, we've been hearing interesting tips from like Miss Dorothy earlier. Nag-chat siya. I think she said na yun nga, go clean as you go. It's a policy. Especially na sa mga bahay kayo ngayon, you're at your homes and you don't want your parents to slap you, no, for no reason. So make sure you clean your workspaces after you do. And when we go back to face-to-face, no, I'd like to suggest nga na tama, we practice Lego talaga sa homes pa lang. Kasi imagine when nag-face-to-face na, katabi mo ng classmate mo. So we have to respect each other's works.
Actually, yung Lego is nasa student handbook siya. So, nung research namin siya, 1 meter. 1 meter sa student, it's considered na parang kailangan niya linisin after siya lumabas.
Dito sa lab, yun yung coverage niya. Kung baga 1 meter around me, yun yung saklaw ko, kailangan ko linisin. Okay.
We have a question from Arela, I think. Are you raising your hand? All right.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello again. I have a question. So, I'm sure a lot of us want to do our own projects at home. So, what would you recommend are like the best mediums to use, especially for those who live in smaller spaces? Like the mediums, like materials.
Materials and ano. I remember Sir Dax, Sir Manny, discussing this. Baka kaso nawala si Sir Manny eh. He mentioned dun sa previous webinar, I remember clearly that he's recommending the use of softer materials, particularly clay and siguro balsa, not the harder types of wood, sintra. And it's no surprise that these materials are very, very capable. Sir Manny, you want to share something, Sir Dax? Ayaw na. Nasagot ko ba yung tanong, sir? Naalala ko yung talk mo eh. Ayun, tama. Ayan. Approve yung prof ko. Estudyante ako niyan dati eh. Thank you. Baka may iba pang hahabol ng questions. Wala na ba? Are we good?
We have one now. Kaso hindi ko na-answer na to kanina, pero I think it's worth reiterating. A lot of us are anxious to go back to school. At least the lab lang to be able to work. So mayroon pa po tayong mga means daw or ways to extend the laboratory to our students at this time.
Sir Pat.
Sorry. Actually, yeah, that's quite a difficult question. We are doing our best in all sorts of medium. We're providing technical instructions, online and live feeds like this one. And in our end, of course, faculty to student, we extend all means possible. We do a live Discord, we do the Zoom thing. But yeah, it's still different that you learn it on the hands-on, on the side that the advisor will be beside you. But But of course, we learn new things. Like what we said, the experience is also a best teacher. But of course, we try to minimize the mistakes that you're going to create at your home.
There you go. Last question na ba yun, Sir Jay? I believe last question na yun, no? Tama ba?
Yes, sir. Actually, yun na. That's the last question we have. If meron na lang kayo mga tips, siguro yung mga iba ating faculty kasi I know very eager ang ating mga faculty na nandito.
Yeah, baka may tips ng faculty.
Yes, please. Sir, sino ba kanina? Sir Chris? I think Sir Chris was mentioning a few things. Sir Chris Proofer. Would you like to share anything or okay na tayo?
Wala, Jay. I think na-cover nyo naman lahat.
Any safety tips, sir? Kasi as we know, Chris has his own woodworking shop in his place.
Kanina nung dinidiscuss nila Emer yung sa lathe machine and para may incident na may tumalsik na piece of wood dahil pangit yung kahoy na nabili ng student. Dito sa workshop namin, pag gumagamit ng tools, kahit yung jigsaw lang, yung orbital sander okay lang eh. Pero pag yung jigsaw or yung table saw, dapat laging may goggles eh. Kasi di mo masabi kung bigla may mag-chip off. Minsan talaga may tumatalsik sa mata, no? Especially pag yung position mo is yung position ng tool medyo nakatapat ng konti sa face mo. So I mean kasi may hangin yan eh, may hangin na lumalabas dun sa tool. Minsan pag natapat ka dun sa direction ng hangin, may tatalsik sa'yo na piece of wood. So malaking tulong yung goggles.
So ingatin pala sa electric fan, no, sir?
Depende kung nag-woodwork ka tapos may electric fan.
Yeah, kasi syempre baka puwing din. Nagsasan ka sa may electric fan, nagsasan ka, obviously.
Yes, sir. Actually, yung sa sinabi ni Sir Proofer, yung like sa jigsaw, once na ginagamit niyo siya, sir, may air talaga na lumalabas dito. So, ang pinaka-basic talaga mangyari, if you're using it without the goggles, mapupuwing ka. So, worse na yung may tumalsik. So, normally mapupuwing ka pag hindi ka naka-goggles, sir.
Sir, magkano goggles? Range?
May mga mura naman, sir. 30, 50 pesos, meron na yan eh.
Oh, so mura lang. Yeah.
May mga naman. Except kung gusto niyo mga 3M, yan medyo mahal.
But no, hindi man mas mahal ng 500.
Hindi.
Or a little siguro.
Klase kasi yun.
I see. Okay, so parang may mga habol pa ba, fellow faculties na may advice pa. This is the perfect time to give that advice to students who are planning to build their own labs at home. Well, kung wala na, then that's about it. Sir Jay, last call?
We have one?
I think what...
we have one. Ano daw ang it's anonymous. He or she doesn't want to name him or herself.
Okay, secret caller, Sir Emer.
Sir Emer, what is your favorite number daw sa electric fan?
Naka-zero kami ngayon kasi wala pong aircon dito. Just so you know.
Right, that's it.
Okay, so that's it. But we are thankful that the CSB allowed us to do this kasi alam naman natin that these are difficult times. So, and the CSB, have given us the permission to do this and been very generous with that. So, good na tayo, Sir Jay and Sir Pat. No? Very good. So before we end, on behalf of the Benilde ID Benilde ID Lab Live production team, Sir Pat, Sir Jay, Miss Abo, and myself, I'd like to thank the following. Sir Mark Verdilio for coming by. Thank you. Kakulitan ko to noon pa. And of course, the DLSCSB Safety, Health, and Risk Committee, thank you for allowing us to do this. Sana payagan niyo pa po kami uli. Ms. Lani Ralios and the entire SDA Lab Center, thank you for allowing us to do this again. SDA Dean Acela Domingo and Associate Dean Christine Bennett, thank you for expressing your support. And siyempre, Benilde Industrial Design Chairperson Sir Romeo Katap for supporting this project. And Benilde ID Lab Technical, ito ang technical team natin sa likod. Pakita naman kayo. Ayaw pakita sa camera. Ayan, napakasipag. Kung you have no idea gaano kasipag tong mga to. Talagang one step ahead. Sasabihin ko pa lang yung plano and then nag-set up na sila dito. Literally ganun po. So we're very, very thankful to these guys. And a big round of applause na rin. Thank you. Pinaunlakan mo ang first episode, Sir Emer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Palapakan naman natin, Sir Emer. Okay, so the live streaming event wouldn't be possible without these people. Thank you everyone for attending today's ID Lab Live. Once you leave today's series, nasa Facebook ito. So it will be, I believe it will be saved. And we would appreciate your feedback via the Google form that will be giving you later on. Again, this is Marlon Barnuevo. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe and stay healthy, please.
Sure, picture
Ingat
tayo,
po kayo.
picture.
Picture, yeah. Picture. Paano si Emer? Ayun, yung dalawa, yung double na para sabay kami. Yung double na scene.
Let's all please turn our cameras on. I appreciate that, no? Everybody. And oh, by the way, I sent the link na dito sa chat ng ating feedback form. So if you have the time right after this, go ahead. Bilis lang yan, okay? Short feedback form. Now, yan. Okay, I'm seeing a lot.
Dalawa sa harap. Isa sa gitna, pwede. Pwede mo.
Yeah, ako din. So, para hindi mag-picture na rin ako. Ready? Everyone? 1, 2, 3. Next page. 1, 2, 3. One more. Everybody smile. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Okay na ba? Pwede na buksan yung fan?
Bye!
Guys, bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye!
Thank you.
Naka-off na rin ang Facebook Live natin. Congratulations!
Job.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thank you for
much
joining.
for the support. Thank you po. Thank you, Sir Marlon.
Sir Marlon, the best. Woo!
Leng. Ibang level. Asan ni Sir Marlon? Nawala.
Parang si Tito Boy Abunda lang, no?
Yeah. Natatamp nga ako mag-tito boy din eh.
Hi guys.
Hey Dorothy, kamusta?
Okay naman.
Kamusta sila dyan?
May lurker dun sa likod ni Sir Marlon eh.
Wow. Success. Thank you. Thank you po for